I'd like to call this meeting of the Westland City Council to order, please. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, tonight led by Brad Peoples and Haley Vo, two third-grade students from P.D. Graham Elementary. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'll stay right there, Councilman Londo will be right down to talk to you.
Great job, guys. Everyone, welcome Brad and Haley to Westland City Hall tonight. We're going to start with ladies first. Start with Haley. Mic working? There we go. Haley's a very responsible student who always contributes to the class. She's respectful to all, works very hard, and is a huge pleasure to have in my classroom. Not my classroom, it says, that's what it says here, though. She also likes sports. What's your favorite sport?
Soccer.
Soccer. Okay, what's your favorite soccer team? Do you have a favorite team?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, you know about the Wayne Westland Soccer League, don't you? You going to sign up one of these days?
Maybe.
All right. Well, I'll get you the link before you go, or our Parks and Recreation Director can, okay? Also says you like to draw. What do you like to draw?
Anime people.
Awesome. And then you got, it looks like your parents are in the audience. Is that your sister over there? What's her name? Who's older?
Me.
Ooh, all right. Well, thank you, Haley. So I have a certificate here from the mayor's office and our city council. And hold on to that. We'll sit down and talk to Brad. Hi, Brad. Brad Peoples is a third grade student also at P.D. Graham Elementary. He's a charming 8-year-old boy who loves to learn. He enjoys reading books from the series Dogman and the Magic Treehouse. Excels in math and science. All right, I ask everybody this all the time. Will you teach me the Common Core math? I need help, okay? And he scores many points while playing basketball at recess. Brad's a great student and is a role model for his classmates because of his desire to learn and his respect that he has for his classmates and teacher. How about a big round of applause once again for Brad and Haley? And I'd like to welcome up the parents, and if there's any principal or anybody here from P.D. Graham, we'll take a group picture.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Green. Present. Councilman Hart. Councilman Hammonds. Councilman Herzberg. Here. Councilman Johnson. Councilman Londo. Here. President Godbout.
Present.
Quorum is present.
We'll begin with announcements and presentations. Len?
Thank you, sir. Mayor, members of the council. I like to show up occasionally to let you know a couple things. What we're doing, this is our 14th season that is we're kicking off this Friday, and I always want to come and thank you for the possibility of doing this, because if it wasn't for this council, we wouldn't be able to do this. So rather than tell you about the Adams Family opening up this weekend, even though we're sold out this weekend and almost sold out next weekend, and there's only one weekend left for tickets, we want to show you what it's going to be like. So with your permission, we're going to give you just a touch of what the show is going to be.
Ah, the intoxicating smell of the graveyard. Once a year we gather to honor the great cycle of life and death. Come, every member of our clan, living, dead, and undecided. Let us celebrate what it is to be an Adams. Come to me, my luscious wife. Oh, she of skin so pale, of eyes so black, of dress that down to Venezuela. Tell us what it is every Adams hopes for.
Darkness and grief and unspeakable sorrow.
I love it when you talk sex. When you're an Adams, you gotta have little moonlight. When you're an Adams, you need to feel a little chill. You have to see the world in shades of gray. You have to put some poison in your day.
That's the way when you're an
Adams. You gotta have a sense of humor.
When you're an Adams, you need to have a taste for death. Who cares about the world outside and what it wants from you? When you're an Adams, you do what Adams always do.
Be a boy.
Will you love me forever and ever?
We shall be as besotted as the night we first met.
Our first date, you took me to see
Death of a salesman.
how we laughed.
When you're an Adams, you gotta have a lot of passion.
When you're an Adams, you need to really love your wife.
At least once a day.
You're happy when your toes are in the mud. You smile a bit the moment you smell blood. When you're an Adams, you need to grab a bow and arrow.
When you're an Adams,
You need a moment to explode. Just pour a potion, flip a switch, and wait till things get hot. When you're an Adams, you have to really stir the pot. So give us shadows and give us gloom, broken glass in a motel room, something fun we can all exhume and give it all tonight.
and on this night, we summon our beloved ancestors. Why do we do this?
Because living or dead, family is still family.
Yes, and how do we do this?
By dancing on their grave!
Yes, dance our demented little grandma. Dance!
Mary?
You got me that time behind the Adams, okay. Good evening. I can do the rigor I can do that. That's the easy one to do. I'm Mary McClendon from the Office of Wayne County Commissioner Glenn Anderson, and it's always a pleasure to be here in the fine city of Westland. It's always good to be here in Westland. There's so much activity, theaters, everything. I bring you greetings to Councilman Godbout, to the entire council, to the mayor, all the dignitaries, and to all the citizens of Westland. I just want to remind you of a few things. Wayne County does have an approved budget of $1.47 billion. It's approved. It was approved on October the 1st. And of course, that's the beginning of the Wayne County fiscal year. And so we're right on time. I want you to know that the commissioner does have a newsletter out right now. If you don't have it, be sure to contact the office and we will make sure that we will get you that newsletter. It has all the updates from the commissioner. I want to say that there's one item in that newsletter, and that's a job fair if you happen to have that newsletter. It was canceled, okay? It's scheduled for October the 17th. From 10 until 3 o'clock, and that's very important. It was scheduled for Schoolcraft College, the Radcliffe location in Garden City. So again, that job fair was canceled due to a scheduling conflict on the administrative side of the Wayne County. So again, October 17th, job fair has been canceled, and that's currently in that newsletter, so it's important for you to take note of that. I want you to know that the Wayne County Light Fest is on its way, and it will kick off on November the 15th. The ceremony begins at 6 p.m. at Hines Drive and Merriman Hollow area, near Hines Drive and Merriman Roads. And whether you know it or not, that's the longest light fest in the Midwest, and it will go through December the 31st. And the hours are from 7 until 10 p.m., Monday through Friday, and 6 to 8 on Saturday and Sunday. Also, just as a reminder to you, the Wayne County Treasurer's Kiosk is in effect and is located at 29611 Ford Road in Garden City. And that's a good place for anybody to pay delinquent taxes. That's the Dollar Castle there, and they're open from 9 until 9 p.m., and that's thanks to negotiations by Commissioner Anderson in agreement with the treasurer, okay? And we're really happy about that because that puts one in the area, and all the cities in the district for the commissioner have easy access to that particular kiosk. And I want to say voting is very important to everybody. It's coming up soon, November the 6th. It's a very, very important day. It will determine the future for this area for years to come. So please go out to vote. Also, I want to bring emphasis to the fact that we no longer have straight party voting, ticket voting. You will have to determine your individual candidate and go down and select their name. Select the candidate of your choice, but there's no longer straight party voting. So that's important to know when you go out to vote. Look at each name on the ballot along with the proposals and any other items that are on the ballot. Be sure to look at every item on the ballot and make the proper decisions. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Mary. We'll move on to citizens' questions or input on the agenda. Citizens will be recognized before the business of the meeting commences to address the council pertaining to items that are specifically on the business agenda. Citizens are asked to limit their questions or input to 3 minutes. Is there anyone on my right? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. Mayor Wild, City Council President, and members of the City Council. My name is Sue Oser, and I am a Westland resident and the person who sent the proclamation that is listed on your agenda for the National Business Women's Week proclamation. And it just so happens that you are looking at the current president of the Michigan Federation of Business and Professional Women. And it is my honor to be here to see this happen because this is something that is very important to us. And I would like to thank you, Mr. LeBlanc, for being in communication with me and helping this out. Now, moving this forward is very important because it sends a message that working women and business owners as well are being supported, number one. Number two, it can bring more women businesses into the city of Westland. And it puts a name and a face to who we are as a Michigan Federation. Since 1919, we have come together to support and educate all women in all stages of life. And I have a few sisters from the Wayne group of BPW in support as well to see this happen. And they will also have a proclamation read tomorrow. This is really important for us and women across the city because I feel that with this proclamation, it just might bring a lot more business to the city. And I think you do a great job in supporting businesses here. So I hope that you take this into consideration. And I'd like to thank you for giving me a chance to speak with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Yes.
Yeah, under the consent agreement, item number E, regarding the fireworks, I was wondering if the silent fireworks were the consideration before approving, granting this request. Item number G, there's no mention how long this license renewal, like you specified on item number H. So what is the time frame on number G? Under new business number 4, nominating a member, is this a new position that was created or is somebody's term up? Same thing with number 5. Is that a new position or is somebody's term up? Thank you.
One on my right? One on my left? Anyone else in the audience? We'll move on to the consent calendar. Is there a motion?
Support.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilman Hersberg. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? There were a couple questions on item E. I don't know who wants to handle the Light Fest. That's by, it's actually a request from Wayne County to do the fireworks. And no, I don't believe there was any consideration to the silent fireworks for that. Item G, Craig?
Hello, Mr. President. Through the chair, the length of renewal is 1 year, and it's going to be 1 year every time for City Works.
Okay. Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously.
Council has approved the following consent calendar items. Minutes of the regular meeting held October 1, 2018. Minutes of the study session held October 1, 2018 at 6:00 p.m. Minutes of the study session held October 1, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. Approval of request from Don Nicholson Enterprises, LLC, to organize and promote the 7th Annual All-American Wayne Road Cruise event on June 22, 2019. Approval of request from Wayne County to hold a 15-minute firework display at the Wayne County Light Fest opening on Thursday, November 15, 2018, at the Merriman Hollow Picnic Area in Hines Park. Approval of purchase of 10 new 55-gallon trash receptacles, 10 new rotating pedestal grills, and 6 new benches for the Department of Parks and Recreation, amount not to exceed $8,997.16. Approval of renewal of license subscription with CityWorks for workflow management software for various departments. Amounts shall not exceed $76,500. Approval of renewal of current SmartNet services agreement with Cisco. Agreements shall be for a one-year period totaling $9,738.32. Introduction of ordinance 248A87 and ordinance to amend ordinance 248 to show CB3 district classification where CB2 is now shown in the area situated in the city of Westland described as parcel number 56-062-01, 0166-004, 165 South Wayne Road, Planning Department number 2216. This rezoning was approved by City Council September 4, 2018. Introduction of ordinance 248A88 and ordinance to amend ordinance 248 to show CB3 district classification where R5 is now shown in the area situated in the city of Westland, described as parcels 084020673 000, 0674 000, and 074 000. This is 27454 Van Born, Planning Department number 2217. This rezoning was approved by City Council September 4, 2018. Introduction of ordinance 248A89, an ordinance to amend ordinance 248 to show CB1 district classification where R5 is now shown in the area situated in the city of Westland described as parcels number 5603499 0016004, 5603499 0018 001, 5603499 0019 5603499 0020 and 5603499 0021 All of that was Planning Department number 1632C. This rezoning was approved by City Council April 16, 2018. Adoption of prepared resolution authorizing the disposition of one property, 34028 Caseville Court, acquired through the Neighborhood Stabilization Community Development Block Grant and Home Programs for resale to the adjoining owner and eligible home buyers in exchange for the resulting public purpose. The Director of Housing and Community Development is authorized to sign the closing documents on behalf of the city. The last item approved on the consent calendar, item M, adoption of prepared proclamation to proclaim the week of October 22 through 26, 2018 as National Business Women's Week in the city of Westland. Moving to new business, item 1. Approval of proposed rezoning from CB3, General Commercial Business, and R5, Single Family Residential, to PUD, Planned Unit Development, east side of Merriman Road, north of Warren Road, Planning Department number 1199B. The Planning Commission recommends approval and further directs the city attorney to draft the necessary ordinance amendment.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Hammonds. Is there support? Support by Councilman Hart. Charles?
Thank you. So case number 1199B, proposed rezoning from CB3 and R5 to PUT to the planned unit development. It's 13.5 acres. This proposed development is a mixed-use residential development for the property that is designed to be marketed to individuals with development and intellectual disabilities, as well as market rate homes. The proposed development will contain both single-family homes and attached condominiums for, attached condominiums or cottage dwellings for a total of 35 units. The Planning Commission determined that the proposed residential development is consistent with adjacent residential uses surrounding the site. The proposed residential development is consistent with the adjacent zoning. The property cannot reasonably be developed under its current zoning designation, and the proposed development under the PUD designation is consistent with the master plan projections. Therefore, approving the rezoning is recommended.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously.
New business item 2, approval of preliminary plan for proposed Hawthorne Oaks planned unit development, parcels numbers 00701, 0589001, 0059000, and 0591001. This is the east side of Merriman Road, north of Warren, Planning Department number 1199C. Planning Commission recommends approval contingent upon departmental requirements and recommendations.
Motion by Councilman Hersberg. Is there support? Support by Councilman Hart.
So thank you. So the monitors here are showing you exactly what the, so I apologize, I didn't explain this previously. This is what the site looks like today. This gives you an idea of how we're positioned. This driveway here is going to become a street. So right now it's a driveway into the property that's being discussed, and it'll become a street that's 27 feet. Here's a, so let me go through this. So the petitioner proposes a development of a single-family development of 27 houses, 46 to 55 feet wide lots with 2 4-unit attached condominiums or cottage homes in designated areas at the north and south ends of the site. The buildings will be constructed with stone fronts and a stone wainscot around the sides and the rear. And I've got some examples here of what the homes might look like. The homes will range in areas from 1,288 square feet to 1,697 square feet. The attached buildings, and you can see these are on the north, the top and the, I don't know, my orientation is going to be off, but the top and the lower, where the larger lots, number 22 and number 4, those are where there would be potentially larger buildings. So the attached buildings would be 2,900 to 3,900 square feet, or they could be potentially larger, 4,300 to 5,030 square feet. Some of the smaller cottage units can be as small as 624 square feet up to 871 square feet. The development will contain one major access point from Merriman Road in the current driveway location, which I showed you on a previous slide. The streets will be 27-foot wide asphalt paved roads built to city standards with sidewalks and streetlights. The petitioner proposes to utilize the area at the east end of the site. Let's see what we have here. Sorry if I went fast. At the east end of the site as open space for the development that will include passive recreation facilities such as walking paths, gazebos, shelters, barbecues, and picnic tables. Stormwater detention would be provided on site in the form of a comprehensive detention pond system located at the south side of the development. The preliminary landscape plan indicates that the developer proposes to provide a substantial landscaping around the development, and approval of the preliminary plan is recommended.
Thank you. Developer, would like to come forward? Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Good evening. My name is Bruce Michael. I'm with Three Oaks Communities. I'm really just here to answer questions. Unless you want an additional presentation, it's up to you.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any questions? Any discussion? Adam?
Thank you, Council President. Through the chair to the developer. This will have streetlights. You will be providing streetlights?
Yes.
Okay, and sidewalks are around
Yes.
the development as well? Okay, and then the residents, will the residents be providing the sod landscaping, or will that be provided by the developer?
We'll be providing that.
Okay, that's it for me. Thank you.
Councilman Hersberg.
Thank you. I'll just start with a couple comments. I like the plan. I like that you're going to renovate the bridge that connects back to the former golf course. I know the state's not letting us build new ones, but you can repair the old ones, so I think that's really beneficial. I'd just like to know, is the developer going to maintain cutting grass and maintaining the back end of that property, or?
The project is a for-sale project, so there'll be a homeowners association or a condominium owners association. In their budget that they'll have, there will be maintenance of the open space recreation area, as well as usually what we found is that we offer, as part of the association offers cutting everybody's lawn at the end of the day. It works out better because they're fairly small lots, and we get a lot of consistency that way. But yes, there will be a budget that is funded on an annual basis to maintain.
Is there any other discussion from the council? Any other discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Good luck.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
New business item 3, confirmation of appointment of Jason Freese to the Downtown Development Authority to fill an unexpired term, with the term to expire July 18, 2021.
Motion by Councilman Landau. Is there support? Support by Councilman Hersberg. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Mr. Freese here?
New business item 4, nomination of member to the Westland Zoning Board of Appeals for a 3-year term with the term to expire October 15, 2021. Adam Goring has submitted a letter requesting consideration for appointment.
Is there a motion?
Thank you.
Motion by, I'm sorry, is there a nomination?
Yes, sir, Council President. I'd like to nominate Adam Goring to the Westland Zoning Board of Appeals.
Okay.
Support.
Are there any other nominations? Motion to close nominations by Councilman Landau. Is there any discussion? Councilman Hammonds. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilman Landau. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. And just to answer a question that came up during the both the previous appointment and this upcoming appointment are for new members to those boards. They were open positions on both of those boards.
New business item 5, appointment of member to the Westland Zoning Board of Appeals for a 3-year term with the term to expire October 15, 2021. Adam Goring has been nominated for appointment.
Support. Motion by Councilman Landau, supported by Councilman Hart. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Adam, if you'd like to stand and be recognized.
New business item 6, approval of voucher.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Hart. Is there support? I'm sorry, Councilman Hammonds. I'll get you right before the end of the night. Is there support?
I'll support it.
Support by Councilman Landau. Councilman Hart.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Just as a means of notification, so on the consent calendar, on the vouchers, we go through and we approve a number of expenditures that come through our desk. One of those expenditures are cellular phones for some of our employees. That's for Verizon Wireless. I am now an employee for Verizon Wireless, so that means that since I'm with the company, it'd be inappropriate for me to go ahead and approve any expenditure for that, for those kind of things. So I'm not selling cell phones for Verizon. I work in the main office. I work for regulatory compliance and their network real estate development. But still, I work for the company, so I have filed a permanent abstention for anything Verizon related on our voucher report. So that way we won't have to stop the council meeting and at least for the next 3 years, and I have to abstain from the Verizon only. I have filed a permanent abstention for anything related to Verizon. So henceforth and forevermore, while employed with Verizon, my approval for the voucher report will not apply to anything Verizon related. So I wanted to go ahead on record, let you all know that, make everyone aware of that so we have maximum transparency. So thank you.
Thanks. Is there any other discussion on the vouchers? Any other discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to citizens' comments or requests. Citizens will be recognized at the end of the meeting immediately following the agenda item approval of vouchers. Citizens are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. All citizens wishing to speak will be heard. Is there anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Anyone in the audience? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor, President, and Council. My name is Jennifer Dubler, and I run Panic Haunted Experience. I've been a professional in the haunt industry for 16 years, 10 of which have been in a haunted trail environment. And I would like to address what has occurred. In the 2016, there was an application for a permanent land use permit, and the council and the neighbors felt that there was a possibility that a haunted attraction Christmas event could be a nuisance and impact the neighbors. One of the councilmen stated that they would, that we could have a 2-year trial, at which point it would be reviewed. We operated the 2017 season without complaint. There was no police called for noise. There were no parking issues. The drainage ditch that runs in the back of the property has been flooded to about knee and thigh high, and my surveillance cameras didn't catch anybody swimming across it for the neighbors. And we ended our first season with a 5-star rating on social media. We invested hundreds of hours of work, over $100,000, our hopes and dreams, and we want to work with the council to have a positive impact on the community and bring people to Westland. We believe that the council intended us to operate for 2 years so that we could prove that we are not a nuisance, we are indeed an asset. So we invested more time, more money, and opened for the 29th, on September 29th for our second season with high hopes. On October 29th, a notice stating that we had been inspected and we did not have your approval to run was posted. And we felt that was an error because we really thought that you had given us 2 seasons to prove we're good for Westland. We've invested so much and stand to face such a huge financial loss. However, we did voluntarily shut down on Saturday. I had a pizza party for the 30 people I had to let go. And I turned away countless customers, customer after customer, some of which stated they drove 45 minutes because they saw our 5-star rating. So, losing the last 10 days of a 15-day season is a heavy financial loss. And I'd like to ask you the following questions. With no start date and no end date and no discussion on the city council meeting of when it expired, did it expire? What, because there's no discussion on the city council meeting of dates. And for a Halloween attraction and a Christmas attraction to be dated July to July is, well, is. Can there be an extension for our last 8 days that we have to be operational? And review afterwards to see? Or is there going to be some sort of permanent review so that we can continue to, in good faith, to invest in Westland? Because if I keep losing money, I can't.
Mayor?
Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. So Bruce Thompson's been our point person on this, and he's not with us tonight, but to the best of my recollection, not yourself, but another operator, I think the owner of the property was
Yes.
granted a 2-year special land use approval from the city
For a
council.
haunted attraction.
But that was back in 2016, and if I remember right, they didn't do it the first year. So-
Well, it wasn't, when you're talking in haunt industry, you know, and we start planning in January. I start my costumes in February. It takes me 2 months to hire people, you know, and that's in July and August. We couldn't safely, in good conscience, open an event with 2 months, you know, and since there weren't any dates on paper, we thought it meant operational 2 seasons.
Okay. Through the process, it was a 2-year, it was granted for 2 years, and that 2 years expired. So that's why you're running into some of the problems. We'd certainly be glad to sit down with you tomorrow and see if there's the opportunity to try to save some of this, but I know that the city of Westland reached out to you to let you know that before you opened it, there was a problem, and it seemed like you guys didn't care. You just went ahead and did it anyway.
We did care, but
So-
Bruce didn't seem to want to move or work with us at all. He just said no.
Unfortunately, when this came before council the first time, we were in pretty much the same situation, is that a lot of stuff happened without approvals.
Right,
So
and that's one of the reasons Cody
trying-
brought me on board, was because of my experience with an outdoor haunted attraction. You know, he felt that I had more experience, and he's still, we're a symbiotic relationship, you know.
Okay. We can certainly meet with you tomorrow, but like I said, when the city council granted the 2-year special land use approval last time, it was basically done after the fact because we were trying to clean up an issue where the property owner went ahead and did a lot of stuff that he wasn't permitted to do. So the city council worked with them to make that happen, and then, but here we are 2 years later, and we're kind of doing the same thing again. So, but we certainly can sit down with you. I mean, we strive to be business friendly, but it's gotta, there are certain things that we have to do, and something like this requires permits. It requires the fire marshal to sign off, and but certainly we'll work with you to see if there's ability to do that.
Is there any ability to save the rest of this season?
We'd have to sit down tomorrow and take a look at it.
Are you available at 8 a.m.?
Well, we'll certainly reach out. You can certainly reach out to us tomorrow. We can try to make that happen. But just to be clear, is you opened up without the proper permits this time, and it appears that you guys knew that. So we're trying
I'm
to be.
sorry you're under that impression.
Well,
I'm sorry for
I
the
can-
misunderstandings all around. I just want to bring good things to Westland.
And we want you to. We understand there is a theory of it's easier to ask for forgiveness sometimes than permission, but at the end of the day, because this is open to the public and it does
Right.
require fire marshal approval, we do have to make sure that things are done properly. So we'll
Right,
certainly
and we
be
thought
willing to
we
meet
were
with you.
still under that special land use, that, with that site plan, and we built way less. The whole thing in the front area, if you remember, that was supposed to be built, that's not there, it's just a gate. So.
Okay.
I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone on my left? Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Clem Kasser. I was here 2 weeks ago. Thank you all for listening to what I have to say. I brought my brothers here today. We are the owners of Forest Lane Apartments in Westland, and they came through since 2 weeks ago and weed whipped the area and did some other repairs. And I've been asking what is going to take place, what is going to be the permanent solution for this. And since September 20th, I have 6 residents that have been without padding in their carpet, and I don't have an answer for them. I'd like to get their lives back together, and we've been at that building and paying taxes for 43 years. For 43 years, we paid our taxes and our water bill and have never been delinquent. So that's our loyalty to the city of Westland. Now I would like to see, some other loyalty feeding back our way. So when it rains in the city of Westland, we flood. When it rains hard, we flood. If we get a large amount of water in a short period of time, we're underwater. And they've come out and they've weed whipped the area and brush hogged an area. And I have bills here that I was maintaining that property. And on 9/20, I had to pay $950 in carpet extraction.
October 1st.
October 1st, 2018.
October 10th.
October 10th, they came back and had to clean all the carpet,
Over again.
whatever was
The
left.
same ones.
Okay, so that's $600. I mean, I've done all the maintenance to all our catch basins on our property. In July, I paid $3,800 to maintain what we have to do in order to get our water to drain. So I don't know what they plan on doing. I'm looking for answers for our tenants who are paying their rent. We're paying our stuff, but we're not getting results. So I don't know what's going to take place or what it takes, but
Can I add something?
yeah.
My name is Jim Cassar, and we've had the property since 1973. 1973, we bought into it, and everything was fine. They built a shopping center right out front. The Secretary of State is there on the corner. The sewer system from their parking lot comes to ours with a catch basin. When the water from there and the parking lot from the bowling alley comes into it also, when it comes to our property, they have a 10-inch line. We have a 6-inch line. From 10 inches, it's going to a 6-inch. There is a catch basin I've seen, I know he has, because we've seen it together, the water shoot out of there that high, 2.5 feet. There's no way that 6-inch pipe can carry it. It goes to the property that's owned by the city of Westland on the opposite side of the property, and there is a drain. It's just a ditch that's been completely filled with fallen trees, overgrown grass, and everything. We had somebody come out and paid them over $7,000 to cut down some trees. Some of them were falling towards the buildings too. It was your property. We paid to have it done. In 2010, we paid $16,279, $11,000. These are copies of checks. I can leave with you. Another $11,000 to a company to come out and make sure that our drains were fine. They found that the 6-inch line going from our property to that drain was broken. They fixed it. The city of Westland in 2010 paid us back, I don't know how much, like $6,000 of it, I believe, for the work that we did on that drain because it was their drain. They know about this. The city of Westland has known about our problem. It's not just the water coming into the parking lot and then draining down our drain, because our drain can't take it. Our drain is full. That's why it's coming up from that manhole. And it shoots out of there, this big around, and it comes up 2.5 feet. There's no way that ours can take it. Our tenants are suffering. When we have the carpets clean, we just don't have them clean. The guy comes out, lifts them up, leaves a blow dryer there underneath them, blows them dry, comes back, and he puts down a microband for mold to protect the tenants. Just in this month alone, we spent $1,550 just for that. And some of them are without carpet. We have to replace the carpet. That's not cheap. That's not cheap. It's about $978. I know because I pay the bills. It's about $978 for every apartment to change the carpet. And it's just that we need somebody to come out and look at this system that they put together when they put them parking lots in. You can't take a funnel, a kitchen funnel, and pour a gallon of milk in it without stopping, without it overflowing. This is what's happening.
Okay. I'm gonna make a suggestion that, and I'm assuming the mayor has got your contact info?
Yes.
Okay, that we get engineering out there and work with them to figure out what solution we might be able to come up with, Mayor?
Thank you, Council. And I know that you talked with my deputy mayor after the last council, and I know that they've tried to do some work out there. You'd mentioned that they had trimmed some weeds and stuff, but they also did some trenching. And I'll have our engineer, Ramsey El Garib, he's not with us here tonight, but we'll sit down, and if it's an engineering problem that's the city of Westland's responsibility, we'll take care of it. Okay. If it's something else, then we'll have to figure out how do we get it fixed so your residents can get some relief. But at the end of the day, we'll take a look at it. If it, like I said, if it's an engineering problem that's on the city of Westland's side of it, we'll figure out how to get it fixed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
And thank you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many you are up there, young lady, and all the rest of you, thank you very much.
Okay.
will you leave me your contact information one more time before you leave tonight, and we'll set it up. We'll set up a meeting tomorrow. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Anyone on my right? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, council members, mayor. My name is Charlene Zajac, and I have been a resident of Westland for 46 years. I'm going to keep this short. I just want to thank you, mayor and the council people, for supporting Len Fisher and the Inspire Theater. I'm embarrassed to say that I have not been to too many council meetings. I came today because my granddaughter was performing. She's involved in Inspire. And this just goes to my heart because it's changed her so much. And I think I have to thank you and Len for providing this theater. It was an old, what was it, Continental Cable way back in the day. And now Inspire has it, and we've really grown. I'm part of the family now. So I want to thank you for that, okay? And anybody here that has anybody, or if you want to get involved in acting, check us out. It's all ages, 13 to 70-some years old. Okay, now the last thing is, this is not going to be as nice. My neighborhood is like the unwanted child, okay? When I moved in, I was 27 years old. I didn't know north from south end or whatever. I was very naive. This is my feeling, and I might be wrong. I just feel that our area gets forgotten. I know there's been a lot of trouble, and I'm sure you know the areas south of Cherry Hill, east of Merriman. My son lives right by City Hall, right off of Warren and Wayne. I've noticed things getting done in his area that aren't being done in our area. And I just, like I said, maybe I'm being naive, maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but that's how I feel. And I just want you to know that. I've requested a tree to be trimmed. It's on the boulevard, so I believe it's city property. It's huge. The limbs are like hanging down 3 feet. I've been on the waiting list for 1.5 years. And I've noticed up by my son's area, they're trimming trees like crazy. But it just seems like and I don't want you to forget about us. because our neighborhood is coming back. It really is. It got bad, but it's really starting to come back. And that's all I want to say. Just consider the south end of Westland, like you would the area around City Hall. Okay? Thank you.
Anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Ray?
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I got a couple of events I'm going to talk about. I'm also going to bring up Jefferson Barnes for a second. Norwayne. We do hear a lot about Norwayne. But when I talk and do speeches, I talk about the community. I thought everyone's involved in the community involvement with Jefferson Barnes, not just Norwayne. When they come up and say, well, I'm the chair of the Norwayne, it doesn't sound right. The tone, is what you say. It does turn people off. So, anyway, because everybody to me is involved in the community, and that's the way it should be. And the parks, I think they're a great job. I heard Brian is leaving. I was just totally shocked. I drove a couple of these parks. They got handicap signs finally, and I was real happy with it. And the parks are looking good. I'm concerned what's going to happen on that. Because the parks, I think he did a great job. I mean, that's just what came back to my attention on. Then I'm going to talk about elections, 2018, and what Kevin brought up 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be there, and I'm on the board of the DW Mental Health Authority. So it's important, even people with disabilities, to talk to these candidates. To me, everybody should be involved, not segregated. So everyone has a voice. People do vote. And I want people to vote for the right candidates that do understand mental health, because mental health affects us all in all ways. And it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 8904 Woodward Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. So it's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And to contact Paul Johnson at 313-923-1655. And the next thing I am proud about, 30 years of the making that I've been advocating. I'm going to be going on a webinar, like I said. It's on CLS's website. It's also on the MORC's website. It's also on the ARC's website. And I know I hand some to some other people in here today, even our Disability Concern Board. I have passion for that board. We have done a lot. 10 years we should be recognized. That's how long that board, and that's how long, Mayor, you've been there. 10 years or 11 years. Wow. And I think we came a long ways from everyone working together. And everyone should be a part of that community. I am Ray of hope, and I do give hope, and I believe in hope. If I sat here and sat on the couch, nothing will never get done. I am always out here. I'm always in the cities advocating for people. That is my passion, and I will be talking about this October 23rd from 1:30 to 2:30. If you want to go on the MORC's website, it's morc.org. It's also on the Community Living Services site. And I'm going to be talking about the past, the future, where we're going today. You know, there's people out there that are married. There's people out there driving vehicles. People are living a life. And and I'll tell you something. Back then, segregations of institutions was no place for nobody. Unless they need help in something, I can understand that. But just putting people in institutions back then, that history, no one walked my shoes like I feel. That's why my passion is so big, because people helped me in my life, and I'm helping people today. I wanted to say thank you.
One on my left. Anyone on my right? Mrs. McKinney?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a notice that Brian was leaving, and I hate to hear that because we get a really good Parks and Direct after all that's happened. And let's hope it's somebody just as good or close closely as good as Brian has been. I also want to say that one of the city's, she's the mother of 3 of the firemen that were here, mother and grandmother. She passed away last week, Phyllis Marshall, and she's always lived in this area, and I just think people ought to know what a wonderful person she was. She was 94, but I'll miss her greatly.
One on my left. Anyone on my right? Anyone else in the audience? Kevin?
Thank you, Council President, City Council, Mayor, Directors. I too just want to get up and thank Brian Harnos for his time at the city, our Parks and Recreation Director. I spoke in support of him from this podium when he got the appointment earlier in the year, and just sad to see him go. I heard a lot of positive reviews about him. Never heard one negative thing about his time here, so I know you're with the city for a long time, and you'll be missed. Thanks.
The one on my left. Yes.
My name's Dan Stachow, and I'm been a resident of the city of Westland since 1980. Brian, Westland's losses, Wyandotte and Mia's gain. That's all I can say. Been a hell of a guy. I've known this gentleman for, what, 30 years, 25 years? From the time he was working at the golf course as a counter boy or an attendant or whatever. But his loss is definitely going to be felt by the city of Westland. Thanks for everything, Brian.
Is there anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Anyone else in the audience? We'll close citizens' comments and move on to comments from the administration. Mayor?
Thank you. Thank you to all the folks from Inspire Theater that kicked off our council meeting tonight. They did a great job, and we're very proud of the community theater that we have in Westland. A lot of communities don't have a community theater, so we're very fortunate. And Lynn's done a great job transforming the former cable building into a new, very unique community theater. Ma'am, you mentioned your neighborhood, and we're in the process of doing a neighborhood makeover program that's going to touch all 50 neighborhoods. We have a map that's on the website that shows the neighborhoods that we've done so far. So it sounds like perhaps we've been doing some work in your son's neighborhood. So there's a 50-point plan, and tree trimming is one of those. And it's probably, when we come through a neighborhood, it's probably the most visible thing that we do. So hang in there with us. If there's an emergency.
Talk about the south end.
Well, we're doing it all throughout the city. So if there is an emergency situation, they'll certainly bring it to our attention. We're actually, on our website, we're working on putting a map that kind of shows all the different projects that we're doing. And when you look at all the, it's going to be mostly with water and sewer improvements and road improvements. You'll see that we've just about got something going, or this year completed something in just about every neighborhood in the city. So they're working hard. So be patient. We think it's going to take about 5 years to go all the way through every neighborhood, because we are doing it with our DPS crews, and they're doing it during business hours. And so we're making some progress there. And Susan Ozer, thank you for coming here tonight, and thank you for once again reminding us about National Business Women's Week, and thank you for your work on that. I had one slight correction, Council President, on our DDA appointment, Mr. Jason Freeze. He is actually going to be filling out an unexpired term that was previously held by Victor, the owner from Fireside Grill. So I think his term runs through the year 2021. Jason is a third-generation owner of Westland's Norm's Market. They've been in business for 68 years in the city of Westland. That's really cool. So he's going to be a great addition. He's got a lot of great ideas for his own business, but also for the district as well. So I think he's going to be a great addition to the board. He's a former John Glenn graduate, and his father is actually one of the original DDA board members who served under Mayor Thomas. So I think that it runs in the family. So we look forward to his help there. Just a few quick save the dates. Next Wednesday, October 24th, will be the city Halloween celebration, which will take place right here at City Hall. Starts at 5:30, it goes through 7:30. There'll be lots of trick-or-treating stops around the building, as well as donuts and cider, a DJ, dancing, much more. I had told everybody last council meeting that we had 1,000 pumpkins for the first 1,000 kids, and that didn't quite work out the way we were hoping for, so we're still going to have 1,000 special pumpkins for the first 1,000 kids, but these aren't the type that you decorate, but they'll certainly be a lot of fun, so we will have those available. Last year, we had nearly 2,000 kids, so this year we stocked up on candy. We had to get some sponsors to help us, Parkside Dental, but they didn't do the candy. They're helping us with, I think they sponsored the DJ. North Brothers, Ford, Gordon Chevrolet, Remax, Cornerstone, Westland Car Care, and Michigan chiropractic specialists. So we appreciate them helping us out. Just wanted to thank Brian Harnos. His last agenda item went through tonight on the consent calendar to buy some additional amenities for our park. So thanks for making sure that got on the agenda before you left, Brian. And when Brian came before council for this appointment, we kind of came in, we had a lot of turnover in that position, and I think our parks suffered because of the turnover there. But Brian came in a very short period of time, stabilized that position, oversaw an incredible amount of investment in our parks, in one calendar year. So our parks really do look well. At the same time, improvements to the Mike McDonald Ice Arena while he was there, in the golf course. And another thing that probably you won't see it when you drive by a park and look at it, but one of Brian's biggest achievements was, I think, that he reconnected the city of Westland with all of our different athletic associations and strengthened the bonds with our WYA and the Westland Hockey Association, the Soccer Association, the Meteors. I mean, the list goes on, and that's good for our community because at the end of the day, recreation is a good thing for our community, and it's a good thing for our children, and it's one of the things that people really look at when they look to raise a family. So those relationships that Brian put back together for the city, I think will be long-lasting. So we wish you well, Brian. Congratulations on the work you've done, and we wish you the best. And then two other Save the Events. I'm going to be presenting my 2018 State of the City on Tuesday, November 27th, here at City Hall from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm going to do it a little bit different this year. We try to mix it up to keep it, interesting. And this year we're going to do a town hall style State of the City address. So all my department heads will have a very active role in that presentation as well. So once again, that'll be November 27th, 6 to 8 p.m. right here at Westland City Hall. And then our annual Deck the Halls event, where we light up the lights in front of City Hall, will be on Wednesday, December 5th from 5:30 to 7:30, and that's open to the public. And the one final thing, Council, I'm going to leave you with, and I actually brought some homework for you guys to take a look at. I don't like to bring problems to you without solutions, but I think that there's something that's coming down the pike that we should all be thinking about working together. If you've been following the commodities world, and I'm talking about our recycling, Westland's got an incredible recycling program. We recycle over 1 million pounds a year, but the economics of recycling right now worldwide is upside down. About half of the world's recyclables, not just the United States and not just Michigan's, half of the world's recyclable materials go to China. And over the last couple of months, they have really tightened up what they'll accept, and they're making it just about impossible for the recycling companies to send their stuff to them. They're just going in a different direction. Now, that's going to take a while to trickle down to us, but it's something that we need to be thinking about because the recycling program has been it's been the backbone of our Mission Green initiative here in the city of Westland, so it's something we're going to have to monitor it. The National League of Cities really did a great white paper on rethinking recycling and how cities can adapt to the evolving markets, and I brought a copy for each of you, and I'll pass it down here when I get done talking. So there's been some stories in the Detroit News of late, at USA Today, and if you look at any business magazine, you're going to see talks about the changing recycling world. So it's something we're going to have to work together and be prepared to either revamp our program, continue our program, or look for another program. So I think that that's how quick this thing is changing. So I just want to put it on your radar. But once again, we'll work through it like we do everything else. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Anything from the city attorney's office this evening?
Nothing right from the city attorney's office. We'd just like to thank Brian Harnos for all his efforts on behalf of the city and wish him good luck in the future.
Start council comments with Councilman Londo.
Thank you, President Gabo. I want to start by congratulating both Jason Freese and Adam Goring for their appointments tonight. I look forward to working with both of you. Congratulations again. Also want to thank Brian Harnos and wish him well in the future. You've set a very high standard that someone's going to have to live up to, and I'm going to make sure they live up to that. Big shoes to fill, but you did an incredible job for the city, and I'm going to miss you. I'll be keeping in touch, though. And I also want to mention we do have a kiosk here at City Hall for Wayne County. You can pay your county taxes, Detroit taxes, DTE bills, et cetera. It's right out here in the lobby at City Hall. That's what Mary McClendon was speaking about. Also, thank you to the young lady that spoke about Inspire Theater. I, too, agree. It's a fabulous facility. I actually went to a couple of the Christmas shows last year, so it was a great event. I was going to suggest having the mayor do something at his State of the City address, but if it's going to be more of a town hall, I don't know if that'll fit. As for the lady that came up from Panic, Caught an Attraction, I'd love to see them operational ASAP as well, but I'd like to see it legally. I 100% support local business and being business friendly, but we have to make sure that it's legally done. So, the military appreciation game was incredible at John Glenn High School on Friday night. Both John Glenn and Wayne Memorial players wore custom-made jerseys with names of veterans on the back, including actually our former Mayor Pickering had his name on the back of one of my friend's kids, so that was kind of neat. Over 70 veterans attended the game. Councilman Hart was there. Dan Stachow was out there in the cold rain. But it was a great event, and I would look to see that expanded in the coming years. I also attended the Western Wayne County NAACP dinner last night. I want to congratulate Councilwoman Green for her award, well-deserved. And it's rivalry week. Dan came up to the podium with his house divided shirt on. It's not only, go blue. It's not only rivalry week with the Michigan State, but it's rivalry week between the Westland Comets and the Westland Meteors. So if you want to get out and see some great games, come on out to Wayne Memorial High School this Saturday. The times are for the junior freshmen start at 2 p.m. The freshmen will be at 4 p.m. Junior varsity will be at 6 p.m. I think both junior varsity teams are undefeated, so that's going to be a heck of a game. And then the varsity game's at 8 p.m. under the lights. So come on out to Wayne Memorial this week for the rivalry game between the city championship between the Westland Comets and Westland Meteors. And then lastly, make sure to vote on November 6th, or if you can't make it to the polls, vote via absentee. Thank you.
Councilman Johnson.
Thank you. I, too, would like to congratulate and thank Mr. Freese and Mr. Goring. You're not going to get rich on those jobs. I say it every time, but I appreciate your dedication. Brian Harnos, my friend. I've become accustomed to you every time I come in City Hall saying, I need more money. I need more money. Your money that we gave you was well spent. You did well with it. You're going to be greatly missed, as will Mr. Thompson. You're both off to a different adventure in life. I wish you well. Big shoes to fill, as everybody has said, and I don't know where we're going to get somebody to replace you, but we're on the hunt. Good luck in what your future plans are. And as I said, Mr. Thompson, too, will be greatly missed. Mayor, you got a tough job on your hand filling those two spots. Tasha, I'd like to congratulate you on your award yesterday also. Keep up the good work, kiddo. That's a pretty prestigious award you got. You give him a hit, kid. That's all I got, thanks.
Councilwoman Green.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to start tonight by thanking Brad and Haley for leading the pledge. I would also like to just remind the community and inform some that there is a November library, Friends of the Library book sale coming up, and it is going to occur November 15th, that's a Thursday, through Sunday the 18th. And they have some really good deals going this time around. The preview sale for members of Friends of the Library only will be on Thursday, November 15th, and that's from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. On Friday and Saturday, November 16th and 17th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., that will be the times for Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, the time is going to be 12 to 3 p.m., and Sunday is bag day. So you can buy as many or grab as many books as you can in a book bag for a total cost of $4. Now, the romance books are going to be on sale for 10 cents each or 13 for $1. So if you're a bargain shopper, you can go ahead and get 13 and save 30 cents. Adult fiction, large and small paperbacks will be 25 cents each, and hardcover adult fiction will be 50 cents each. So again, November 15th through the 18th, Friends of the Library book sale. I would also like to announce to the community that I was given, a couple of my councilmen spoke about the award that I received from the NAACP yesterday. I want to say it was last night. It was. It was the Trailblazer Award, and Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri was honored with that award last year. And when I found that out, I was like super excited because I didn't know, but you know, I'm very grateful to have been honored. I did not apply. I did not know that anybody was looking. So it's one of those things to where when you do just do what you do, and you know, sometimes you get recognized for it. So I definitely want to thank the NAACP. Also want to personally thank a lot of members of Westland who came to the the event that I was totally surprised to see. And that was the mayor, Councilman Londo, Council President Jim Hart, the Police Chief not Jim Hart. I'm sorry, I'm looking right at you. Jim Godbout, Chief Jedrusik, Fire Chief Stratner, and some other people from the fire department. And so I'm just very grateful that you guys came out yesterday, and I appreciate it, so thank you. And definitely want to congratulate Brian on your new endeavor, and I wish you and your family lots of luck. You did a great job, and I've told you that several times, and I'm not an easy win if you haven't figured that out. So I know you know, but you really did. It's very noticeable, night and day. So I'm sure you'll go on to do a great job wherever you're going, and congratulations once again. And finally, I'm going to be attending the game at Wayne Memorial on Saturday as well, and I have been invited to do the coin toss. So this is my first coin toss ever, and so I've asked for help with that, but I'm super excited to support the kids in the high school, and hopefully I'll get a chance to see some of you there and meet a lot of the parents that I have and the kids that I haven't had a chance to meet yet. So hopefully we'll see you Saturday, and I'm sure we'll have a good game in Westland. So thank you.
Councilman Hammonds.
Thank you, Council President. I too want to congratulate Jason and Adam on your appointments. Good luck. If you ever need anything, please reach out to us so that we can help you out. Again, congratulations. I just want to touch on one item that was on the agenda tonight, the Hawthorne Oaks PUD plan. I know we've all wanted to see something come over there to the Hawthorne Valley site that area definitely needs a shot in the arm. So this is definitely going to bring it to that corner and also bring some new residents to us. So I'm excited about the development and look forward to it. I'm glad it was on the agenda tonight. I too want to thank Brian Harnos for his service here at the City of Westland. You've been here for over 20 years. You did a great job. I think you exceeded everybody's expectations. You exceeded mine as well. And you do have some big shoes that are going to be need to be filled, and it's going to be tough to do it. So congratulations on your new endeavor, and thanks. That's it for me tonight.
Councilman Hart.
Thank you, Council President. It's getting late, so I'll just summarize real quick. Brian, you get no thanks from me. I at least have to sit this one out. No, Brian, you've done a fantastic job, and I remember when the nomination came up, I think you caught a lot of unnecessary negativity. I think that sometimes it was just out of sport, and I always thought it was unfair. But I always admired the way you just kept the high road, you walked the high road, and you worked your tail off. To me, that is the mark of a professional, to never take the low road. You took the high road, you worked hard, and not only did you prove them wrong, but they ate a little bit of crow and congratulated you for how well you were doing. So I'm proud of you, Brian. I don't think the shoes that you leave behind will be easily filled like everybody else has said, and it definitely will be easily filled right away. Westland has a huge debt of gratitude for you, and thank you for what you've done to our parks. With that, I'll also again say that the veterans football game over the weekend was fantastic. It was great to see, something I'd never seen before. Both teams, again, wore jerseys with all the local veterans' names on their backs. When the game was over, they ceremoniously peeled the jerseys off and handed them to veterans, and even our own police officer, Mr. Kozak, was there. If you don't know, he's also a United States Marine Corps veteran and a Purple Heart recipient, and he's one of our outstanding police officers, and he was there to receive a jersey as well. So it got really cold and got really wet, but when those men and women were on the field getting their jerseys, didn't notice it at all. So thanks again to all of you who are watching for your service, and thanks to the boys that were out there playing that football game. You did a great job, and congratulations, go Rockets. That'll be it. Thank you.
Councilman Hertzberg.
Thank you. I'll start by just touching on a couple of things we talked about at the meeting. The haunted forest that was said to be operating without a permit, I believe we approved that in July of 2016. I think once it was approved by council, the city attorney can correct me if I'm wrong, that's when the 2-year time frame started, was after the vote took place. It's too bad. If they would have came maybe a week or two sooner, perhaps council could have looked at it and tried to give them an extension to continue their operations this year, but I don't have high hopes for that at this point, unfortunately. But I do think it's a good business to have. It's bringing people, like she said, from 45 minutes away. That's the kind of thing we want to have in town, and more of that. And then just real quick regarding the Forest Lane apartment, the drainage issue, I hope we can get that resolved as soon as possible. It seems like a lot of residents in there are suffering. Brian Harnos, Parks Director, you did quite a bit. I think it's safe to say you did more in 10 months than almost what's been done in the last 10 years in the Parks Department. I mean, you brought in a lot of things under the wing, considering the Veterans Memorial Garden at the library. I know Judy's happy with the community garden over there. Just, you went above and beyond in your 10 months here, so you're definitely going to be missed. And also, congratulations to Bruce Thompson on his retirement. Just going to highlight Ray's doing Ray of Hope, Never Give Up. Ray Schuholtz is a community leader in Wayne County, Michigan. He is committed to helping people share their stories in ways that teach us how communities are stronger when everyone's gifts are valued. And he's called it an hour to empower. I think he said he's going to go on Facebook Live, so I'll be sharing that. His story is really inspirational. And also, he's been chairperson of the Disability Concern Board here in Westland for 10 years. And you guys do quite a bit.
No, Bert has been in the community 10 years.
So thanks a lot, Ray, and congratulations on 10 years. I just want to remind all the council colleagues that October 25th, campaign statements are due for those not involved in the elections this year. The close of books is coming up at the end of this week. I want to congratulate Mr. Jason Freese, the owner of Norman's Market, on his appointment, as well as Adam Goering, who, I'm not sure if it was mentioned, but he's the construction tech instructor at William D. Ford, so definitely a hometown person. Yeah, thanks, Mayor, for the packet on recycling. That is something we're going to have to be talking about and looking at in the future. I think an educational program, it's tough to do in the city. If we do an educational program on the city channel, not everybody watches the city channel, so it's hard to reach everybody. But not many people know what's recyclable and what's not. And on the lid on top of the can had directions, but most people's are faded away by now. You can't even read it. But for example, plastic bags from the grocery store, those are not recyclable. So there's a lot of things we could be doing differently to try to get a better deal. It's not just a Westland issue. It's something that the whole state, the whole country, we need to work on. And if China's not going to buy it anymore, we're really going to have to come up with a new plan. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks. I'd like to first start by thanking Brad Peoples and Haley Vo, the two third-grade students from P.D. Graham Elementary, for leading us in the pledge. Before I get into my other comments, I'd like to have our Deputy Mayor say a few words.
Thanks, Council President. I'd be remiss if I couldn't comment on Brian Harrell's last meeting tonight, so I appreciate the point of order. I've been in the city for 26 years. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and Brian's been in the city 21 years, and we're certainly going to miss him, but his lovely wife, Mia's in the audience. I don't know if the folks here didn't, so if we can give Mia a round of applause for putting up with Brian, and more importantly, taking Brian from us. You know, I've had to deal with him as a deputy mayor for the last 2 years, plus, you know, the 20-plus years in the city. So I've always said when people retire is, we've had them for 21, you've got them for the next 21. So hopefully you take care of them as care of them as we did. And probably the last thing would be the biggest kept secret is, I know we've said that Brian's got big shoes to fill. He's a size 6. Thank you.
6.5. Thanks. I too would like to thank Jason and Adam for stepping forward and offering to serve on the boards. It's important roles that both of you have, and we really appreciate both of you stepping forward and offering your time to serve on those boards. I once again would like to congratulate Councilwoman Green on her award last night at the NAACP banquet. It was a great event. A lot of people, they oversold the event. They were looking to find chairs to put people last night. So once again, congratulations. We talked a little bit about the recycling, and I've attended some sessions on that very fact. A lot of the materials that we had as part of our recycling program initially are no longer being accepted. So there are lots of things that we're going to have to sit down and look at and do some education on as part of the trying to get the recycling program back on track. A lot of the facilities that accept recyclables, the single sort facilities, are going to start enforcing their policies a little bit tighter as it goes, as well as the cost to take it to those facilities is going up because the markets, and as was mentioned, China, a lot of that came about during the various embargoes or the tariffs that were put on incoming goods from China. One of the first reactions that they had was to impose a stiff penalty or refusal to accept recycled materials, not only from the U.S., but from countries all around the world. So it's a huge issue that we are going to have to take a look at and figure out how we're going to address in the future. And then, as was noted, Bruce Thompson has retired. Bruce did a great job for the city. I know we're actively looking for a replacement, and you know, I've talked with the mayor on figuring out what we're going to do on the interim basis until we get a full-time planner in place. So I wish Bruce the best in his future endeavors. And then there's Brian, who I told when he mentioned it to me that I wasn't accepting his resignation, so that we had, because it was a council confirmation for that appointment. So in order to resign, I think you need approval from the council in order to resign, although I think Mia would probably kill me if we didn't. Brian, you've done a great job. You took over under some very challenging times. You've done a great job in working with all of the community groups, bringing them back into the fold and getting them to believe that we do care about what's going on with the various youth groups throughout our community. And you've done a great job turning around the parks. And you do have small shoes. You got little feet. So I wish you well. I'm sure you'll do very well in your new endeavor. And thank you for your years of service to the city of Westland. Thanks. That is there a motion to adjourn?